Divine Collective. So the people who have taken you for granted, overlooked your value, ignored you, rejected you, chose other people over you, who have mistreated you and misunderstood you, are now realizing just exactly who you are and exactly where your importance crept in at later on in their realizations while you were in their life or dealing with them. And my name is Dominica Divinely, God's favorite light worker, the golden healer, the messenger, and your down-to-earth high priestess. Divine Collective. So you've been overlooked, denied, rejected, underestimated, mistreated, and constantly let down. You name it. But you have always been someone who could never fake who you are, and you could never go along with others who don't mind and who like faking who they are. You always look at the principle, the fairness, and the justice of things, and you don't let it go. So you pretty much have never been the type to pretend just to keep a friend. You've always consciously and unconsciously kept it 100% real. I mean, the exact type of real that others misinterpret or make their own definition of just so it can fit their own reality. You are really the definition of exactly what real means when it comes to being real, when it comes to being raw, when it actually comes to being the exact of what real would be, instead of hiding, pretending, seeking, looking for validation, looking for approval. Instead of hiding behind facades, you keep it real with yourself. You know who you are, you know who others are, even when they don't know who they are, because they can't keep it real enough with themselves because they are too busy wanting to be validated and not wanting to see the shadow and the ugly, nasty sides of them that they know that they stand in but don't want to claim. You claim your good and bad, and you work on yourself, and you keep it real with yourself as well as real with others when they can't keep it real with themselves. So sometimes you might seem to rain on other people's blinded perception and reality of what they think real might be or who they might think they are. And you've always been that way, even before you became awakened and conscious of what was really going on around you and exactly what real is. Because you are who you are, you were born to be real. You've always been this way, even when you didn't know what was going on. And when you became conscious and awakened, you were real enough to adjust yourself and fix yourself to fit what should really be. That's how real you are. So because you're exactly real and you can stand on it, you can stand on real no matter how you put it, because your real is not fake, pretend, imaginative, or made up. And you can't help but to be as real as you are, even when you don't want to. But because your real is so pure and so exact compared to others, that is one thing that a lot of people might have over you when it comes to the typical, when it comes to how people function, when it comes to actually being able to be social, when it comes to be a collective of what everybody follows and who everybody wants to be and wanting to be liked and all that. It's like everybody just makes sure that they stay programmed to being how each other are instead of being real. So because you are real and you stand outside, you seem different and you seem odd, maybe even weird to others. When you get in these involvements and start to actually exuding your realness, when you're socializing and when you're producing relationships and when people are getting to know you and you're getting to know others, and your realness is actually exact and evident and undeniable, you make evident just how exactly real you are. You make this known to people because there's no way around being exact, okay? So these people might become intimidated, they might become unsure, they may feel triggered, they may even just feel scared at times, okay? Because you actually highlight and illuminate who they are, and they know that you can see right through them, and you bring to the forefront what they do not want to know about themselves or hear or believe. Even if the matter is not about them, your realness triggers their conscience. So then they become defensive. They might begin to project onto you who they are. They may begin to blame you and may begin to call you rude. They might even begin to reject and deny you, although they cannot deny how real you are. So at times to you, it may seem like they may have an advantage over you because it is so many of them who are alike, and you are always the one who is different and the one that is standing on the outside, who are not like them and are the one being rejected and denied. Even the personal involvements, the intimate involvements, the social involvements, the quick involvements, the business involvements, the not so much involvements, they all realize how real you are when you speak, when you keep it real, and when you act when it's time for you to walk that talk. Through the things you've been through, how you've handled it, how you've overcome, how you were always struggling, because we all know that when the world is so fake, you gotta fake it to make it, and you're too busy keeping it real, so you're struggling. Even through your struggles, you still intimidate these folks because you were so real. So when they notice just how real you are, most of them always react the same, okay? Because you never lose anybody that you keep it real with. You only lose those who you are not aligned with, okay? Those who do not belong in your frequency, in your space, in your face anyway, okay? And that is most of the people that you have probably grown up with, have probably been projected to, those people that you probably keep around, or those people that try to keep around you. Those people that you are subjected to, even if you are not indulging in these people. If you are just around these people because of the circumstances, still, you do not feel comfortable with these people because you are not like them and they are not like you. And you feel like most of them do not understand you because you are too real, and most of them don't. And if they do, you intimidate and offend them because they don't want to hear it. Even when it comes to those who you try to love, those who you invest in, those who you try to lead into sensible levels, those who you try to just consider and care for, who you really want to see as far as their well-being being good. Even when you keep it real with them, through all the love that you share with them that is comfortable and not so offensive, when you keep it real with them and they do get offended, they forget about all that and they still decide to go against you, reject you, and deny you, because no one wants to hear the stone cold truth as real as you give it. So it pushes people away at first. And yes, it does affect you tremendously how the people that are so important to you, the people that you want to love and that you care for and that you just try your best for, decide to go against you and push away from you because no one wants to handle the truth and just exactly how real you are when you are in their face. People do not understand people that can't mirror them, who do not validate their emotions and their feelings, even if it's not something to validate, even when you have to tell them what's good for them and it doesn't sound good. People do not want to hear the truth if it makes them feel low. But my Fine Divine Collective, my chosen ones, as I always say, you are the seed planter because of this exact reason. They fall back, you push them away at first until it sinks in and they realize how what you've said and what you've done that was so real has really benefited them for the better in ways that matter internally, not the superficial fake ways that the world usually gives them, until they realize that your purpose was to help them grow. Even through all of the crazy moments that you could have projected or made for yourself, the ugly ways, the anger, the madness, ways that may seem not so helpful, admirable, ways that may not seem so nice. Even through all of those crazy ways about you that you may have, you still had the right love, the right heart, the realness that stayed inside of you and projected outside of you to others. You still stood solid on how real you were, regardless of how you seemed. And eventually through all of that, after they realize and have become awakened to whatever seed that you have planted, they see that you still have a rare importance of value about yourself that eventually gets uncovered and really is attractive and maybe something that they need. But the thing is, they also don't realize it until it is too late. Because surely, my Fine Divine, you are human, okay? When you get rejected, when you get let down, when you get hurt, when you get played, when you get all of those things that people have responded to you with, when you have always kept it real and loved them and expected them to love you because your heart was so pure and genuine and really in the right place, so you didn't expect to be done the way that these people were doing you, it traumatized you for sure. But regardless of the traumatizations, the hurt and pain and the healing and things that you have to deal with to make yourself be strong through all of the pain and hurt and rejection of all these people that have done so, okay? Because it's been a whole lot of people and it's waiting on you, and it's just been real hurtful and not easy for you because of the rejection from the love that you give. But as you know your worth, you know who you are regardless of the traumatizations. You know that these people are going to come running back and realizations, and some in regret, seeking and trying to get more of you. But at that time, it might not be so easy. Because in hindsight, these people realize that you were always acting in love regardless of the form it came in. It was just exactly what was good for them, even when they weren't good for you. But people are so accustomed to feeling sensitive when they feel like somebody did not say or do something that aligned up with making them feel good or okay. And at times when things don't make you feel good and okay, you are supposed to react. But you're supposed to also have discernment and know what is and what is not really helping you grow. Why is it making you feel that way? Triggers are only here to help you heal, okay? So when you triggered these people were running instead of trying to figure out where it was coming from or where you were coming from until they had to go through something that actually made them remember and realize where it was coming from when it came from you. So then they realized that it was all love and it helped them anyhow. So the way that you serve your realness definitely triggers others, but it makes them come right back around to wanting to accept you. And of course, they do feel bad about how they had once blamed you, accused you, rejected you, hurt you, and just made you feel the way that you didn't deserve to feel, because all you were doing was keeping it real. And it wasn't coming from a place of malice that most people just assume that you are coming from because it doesn't make them feel good. So when you say or do things that don't make people feel good, they automatically assume that you're wrong because people feel like they need to be pampered. Little do they know that most of the time you're not even having the emotions that they accuse you of having, like being mad or upset or sad because of what you've said or done. They're only projecting the triggers that you have set off for them onto you. And that's only because truth hurts. To those in denial, pretending people who are stuck in lies and webs of fakeness, calling it real. And it hurts you because when you keep it real, it places you on the bad side when it's not meant to. Your realness is not meant to cause harm. It's meant to plant that seed that is for them when they are ready to see themselves exactly. But it's always too late, because anyone who tries to hurt you for you loving them and keeping it real will never find the alchemist that you are in the same place that they left you and rejected you in. And this is just for confirmational purposes only. Y'all be knowing.